Hi guys, it's Emily from Novell Novels and I'm back for a video. Just thought I'd pop on and fill you in on my August wrap up part 1. I've read way more books than I thought I was going to so far this month, but I still do not think it's going to be as high a reading month as last month. But I'm here to catch you all up on everything, and if I tried to do one wrap up at the end of the month, it would take me way too long. I am loving spending more time with my children over the summer, although as the weeks are coming forward I'm getting ready for them to go back, but it's definitely helped me having a little break from recording all the time. But I'm still so looking forward to coming back to you guys properly in September. Can't wait. I've got loads of tag videos, so please don't tag me any more. I'm booked up till like October. Yes, Chloe, that's a big chunk down to you. And thank you all guys for all your support. I've loved chatting to you all on Instagram. Things have been really busy on there, but I'm having so much fun. Anyway, shall I get on with it and tell you how I'm doing? First of all, I'll let you know what I'm currently reading. I'm coming towards the end of North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which I'm buddy reading with Danny from Spinelli Speaks and Ange from Ange with an E. Loving reading with these guys for a first time I've ever buddy read with them. But they're lovely ladies. We're quite chill. We're all going at different paces. But I'm nearly finished. We finish this on Monday, on the day this comes out. And it's definitely a good book. Thank you so much, Kate from Kate Howe, for recommending this book for me. Loving it. Then, oh my goodness, I have been doing I've had 2 readathons with Tandem this month, read-alongs, and oh my goodness, they've been amazing. So when I got told this at the start of the week that I've been accepted on this one, I screamed the house down. I only started it yesterday. Cinderella is dead. Yes, it's on my Instagram account. So guys, check out the pictures on there. I'm doing the read along on there and I'm absolutely loving it. I only started it yesterday. Today that I'm filming on on Saturday, and I'm going to start my second burst of it for today's pages later on. It's a retelling of Cinderella and it's got LGBTQ+ in it. It's brilliant. It's like, this is like 200 years after Cinderella died, and they all go to a ball, and all the women are expected to go to 3 balls a year, and they're supposed to be chosen. If they've not been chosen on the 3rd go, they get forfeited. But Our Lady Sophia knows the story of Cinderella because that's what they've been told about all their lives. But she doesn't want to be chosen by a man because she's got a lady that she likes. And it's just, oh, it's so good already. I can't wait to read more. Don't really give any spoilers, but if you pick up any of the books that I'm talking about today, this is one I so recommend. Then last night I started the Little Coffee Shop of Kabul, which Chris picked for me and my partner picks my books. Not read very much yet, not 100% on it. I've only read about 35 pages. This is set in Kabul, which the location is description's good. We've mainly been meeting Yasmina and Sunny at the moment, and Halajan I think we're meeting a little bit. So I'm intrigued as to how this is going to go, but I did like it. I've got the audiobook for The Way I Found Her, which is by Rose Tremaine. Liking that. That's an audiobook from the library. I'm doing quite good on that. It's going to take my time. It's not as fast paced as I was expecting. Not thrilling, exciting, but it's still very good. And I'm reading Music from Another World, which is an ebook that I'm absolutely loving. This is set in the late 1970s, which is when I was born. Set in America. Again, LGBTQ+ representation, because it is a girl and 2 girls are pen pals. One of them is gay, and at that time she's got her aunt and uncle are very against it, and they're very prejudiced, and they're fighting against gay teachers, against the LGBT rights over there. It's horrible, it's horrendous the way they're getting treated over there at the time. So part of that is true. And then she's writing to a pen pal who's got a boyfriend, but things are changing and their relationship is changing, and I love that. I love I think it's also YA. It feels very YA. It's just such a good book and it's really good. I love the music scene of it. It talks about the musicians at the time. It talks about books at the time. It's got great representation. I love it. I'm really loving it. And then hopefully tonight I'm going to start The Borrowers. I watched the film of this yesterday with my friend. I watched the newest film for this with my friends yesterday, and absolutely loved it, so I cannot wait to get round to this. I think it's classic, brilliant. Anyway, shall I now get on with the books that I have read? I'll tell you the star ratings. By the way, this month so far has been exceptional. I cannot believe the amount of 5 stars I've got and 4 stars. There's been no 2 stars yet. There's been no DNFs yet. I've only got 2, 3 stars. That is how good my reading month is going. I'm celebrating with joy. The one I started reading this at the end of July, and I only finished this at the start of August, so it's just kind of half and half. It's the last in Jennifer's Worth series, In the Midst of Life. Didn't like it that much. It's alright. I'm going to give it to my mum because I think my mum likes the series. It's set in, it's true life, so, and it's non-fiction. It's set in the east of London. It basically is, it's about nursing. She's more of a nurse and ward sister. She's not really a midwife in any of this. But it does link into some of the other series, some of the other books in the series. It's a good book. It's alright. It's very informative, but not as easy to read. It's very challenging. There's quite a lot of trigger warnings for abuse in this. For abuse is a really big trigger in this. Euthanasia, lots of different issues about whether we keep people alive and or old age, whether we should let people pass away gently. Do we push people to keep going when they shouldn't? That's quite an interesting thought process. I'm quite intrigued by that. So that did set off for quite a few. And also at the time I was reading it was coming up around about my dad's birthday. And I found that really hard. The euthanasia, the hospice stuff, it was really hard hitting. But I hope my mum likes it, so that's going there. Then I wanted to like this. It's The Secret River by Kate Grenville. Simon Savage Reads likes this. I bought it on for my birthday. It's set in 1806 in London and in Australia. And it's about William Thornhill, who was happily wedded to his childhood sweetheart Sal, and he's a waterman on the River Thames. Life is tough, but then he makes a mistake and he gets sent over to Australia. They have children, their family. He has a great journey. I think it's interesting to find out the journey. I believe there's another book after this, which I will look for. It's all right. It's about love, identity and belonging. It wasn't explosive. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, so that's going off to the charity shop. Then I read a book with these, and then I'm already going on to my 4 stars. I'm going to be keeping way too many books this month. It's really bad. This is the one that Chris recommended in Partner Picks My Books, which I will link at the bottom of this video. It's The Sun by Julia Gregson. This is a brilliant book. One I'm definitely glad I picked up another book by her. It's still 4 stars, but it's one that I won't reread, so I will be sending it off. If any of you want it, it's on my pile to go to the charity shop, but if any of you want it, please let me know, and I don't mind sending it to you free of charge, because I think it's one that people will like. It's set in the autumn of 1928. 3 young women are on their way to India, each with a new life in mind. It's about Rose, who's a naive bride-to-be, Victoria, her bridesmaid, and Viva, an inexperienced chaperone. Each of them has their own reasons for leaving their homeland. And it's really interesting. It's very much, I loved it. It was also for Simon's book Hibernation. I loved it. I flew through it. Considering the size of this book, it was like one of my chunky ones, 550 odd pages. But I did fly through it because it was so easy to read and I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to pick up more books by this author. Then I picked up my first thriller of the month. You guys know I've got one more thriller and I've got horror left to read. But this is my first Lisa Jewell thriller and I really blooming loved it. I was not expecting to like it. Again, it's a chunky book. It was like over 400 pages. But I flew through it. I got the shakes again. I got the nervous shakes, which is a true testament to a good thriller because I didn't guess it. I kind of guessed some bits of it, which is why it was 4, not 5. I guessed that who was baddies kind of thing. But as to the actual twists on it, I didn't expect it. There was some really good books. Oh, it is a really good book. I can't wait to read more of Lisa Jewell's thrillers. And yeah, it's 101%. So this is like at 15, Ellie just disappears. 10 years on, her mum Laurel has never given up hope of finding Ellie, and then she meets a charming stranger who's sweeps off her feet. But what really takes her breath away is that she meets his 9-year-old daughter, because his daughter is the image of Ellie, the one that got lost. Blooming good. There was some different narrations of different characters in this, which added to the excitement of it. I found it really, really thrilling and really good. I'm just so like that. 4 stars, but it was really good. Then I've got my last of the 4-star books that I've got to give to Mia because I've got to give it back to her. I think she's going to like this. If you like fantasy, if you like books set in different countries, this is set in Russia. If you like a bit of mystery as well, it's really good. I love Mia's copy of it. It's beautiful. And this is Sophie and her friends find themselves abandoned on a train. They're rescued by the glamorous Princess Anna Voloshyna, who takes them to a winter palace and mesmerises with them stories of lost diamonds and a tragic past. Again, because I think the side of me that's older could guess a lot of what was going to happen in this, but I didn't guess everything, and it was good, and it was definitely one that's not too scary for Mia, but scary enough that I don't think she's quite ready yet, but she's going to love it. This is about princesses, this is about wolves, this is a bit of fantasy, a bit of everything, but I did love it. So Mia's having that back. She's going to love me for it. And already I'm on my 5 stars. We're 10 minutes in and I'm already on my 5 stars. I have read some exceptional books. And first of all, I'm going to tell you about 2 books that I got from the library. The first was an ebook, which is Toffee by Sarah Crossman. You guys know I love One by Sarah Crossman. So to find this, an ebook on there, it was just amazing. It's written, so she writes in verse, and it's a story about a girl who goes missing because she's having some hard times at home, and she meets up with this lady, and she sort of goes into her house and sort of hibernates and lives there because this lady, I believe, has either got dementia or Alzheimer's. She doesn't remember who she is or anything, but there's some amazing links. It's really well told. I just loved it. I really recommend Sarah Crossman's work to anyone who likes books told in verse, which is something I've seemed to have read a lot of this month. Then I read The Catch by T.M. Logan. I got recommended that by Katie from Books and Things, and she was just right. I've got the Holiday downstairs, down in my thriller pile, just down there. But I saw this on my audiobook, and again, it was another thriller. So it's the second thriller actually, and it scared me. I was getting the goosebumps again. I was getting the shakes. I wanted to keep listening. It was one of those audiobooks that I couldn't actually put down. It was so frigging good. It was brilliant. Oh my goodness, I was scared out of my mind, but I know I'm a wimp, but it was just so well written. This dad, he meets his daughter's new fiance. He gets a bad feeling about him, and but no one believes him. So he's saying all this stuff that I don't like him, I don't think he's right. So he starts investigating this guy. I'm not going to tell you whether he's right, but there were some definite scary bits, and it was really, really good. So I'm definitely reading more T.M. Logan's books, and I would certainly recommend you pick that one up. Now I've got my other 5-star books I can show you. One I only finished last night, which is The Upper Fourth of Mallory Towers. Chris has just let me order the last in the series of this, The Last Term at Mallory Towers. You guys know I love that. If you like Enid Blyton, if you like the books of boarding school and the Mallory Towers series, this is brilliant. I don't need to tell you about the characters. There's some twins in this. There's the little bad guy, Gwen, who's a naughty, spoilt brat. Love this. Love this, love this, love this. But again, it's another one that's mine. I think it's not Mia's, but she will probably keep the whole series. Then I read the last in a series of the Ingleside. I loved it in the last of the Anne and Gable series, Winner of Ingleside. Some people have liked this, some people haven't. It's about Rilla, so the youngest of Anne's daughters. It's mainly about her, and it's about when the war hits. It's the World War, I think it's the World War One. So the Great War is happening, and Canada get involved. They fight for us, and some of Rilla's siblings go and fight for war. And it's about their journeys, about how Rilla ends up she adopts a baby. I can safely say that. She comes in, and it's about the fact she looks after this baby as a war baby, and she fights to look after this newborn. And it's just, I love Rilla. I rated this 5 stars because to me it was really good. Rilla's character reminds me a lot of Anne. Her strength, her love, her devotion, and her fight for what is right. And it's interesting to find out about the other characters, about her brothers and about her sisters. It's heartbreak. There are some bits of it that are heartbreaking, some bits that you cry, because obviously not everyone comes back from war alive. Not everyone comes back healthy. So this has got triggers. Be warned, it's very emotional, but it's a very good book, and I'm so glad that I completed this series. Yay, the series done. So that's going on my shelves. Then for I think it's for both of the readathons. I read this for the Join the Six. I read this for that readathon. I read it also for Simon's readathon, and it's what I know why the Cage Bird sings. It's Maya Angelou's first of her non-fiction story, autobiographical stories. So this is set in her, I think it goes most of her younger lives, and it goes up to her being a teenager. So it's the first in the series, and it's about her childhood, about some of the triggers. There are triggers in this, so if you want to know them, please let me know please ask me in the comments, and I'll let you know. because there are some definite triggers in this, and it is definitely a challenging book. Oh, it's got on the back. Yeah, so it has got on the back about it, so I can tell you. Maya was raped by her mother's lover. So there are triggers for rape. There are triggers for abuse. And she just, yeah, she gives. Oh, it's a really good book. I really loved it. Really loved it. But it's very emotional, very hard hitting, and one I'm definitely going to look for all of Maya Angelou's work now. Then I read a book. I'm checking here. No, I'll tell you about the ebook I picked up. That is the second in the series, the Kiss Quotation series. It's called The Bride Test. It is about one of the characters that is in the Kiss Quotient, but it's about mainly, there's not really many links to that. So this tackles autism very well. It tackles about, again, you've got the race, because obviously one of the characters is from, I really cannot remember, but I think it's Vietnam. No, I can't remember her name, but it's someone that's been brought over to this country. She is from over Korea, I think. I really can't remember the name of the country, so please don't quote me on that. But she's coming over, and she is almost like a mail order bride. This guy's mum has chosen her because she thinks that she will change her son. Her son's got autism, and he really struggles to meet women. She knows he's a nice guy and he needs someone, but he had a trauma as a young lad that's devastated him. And I think the representation of the autism is really, really good. It's really well written. It makes it really understandable. There are some bits that you can definitely tell are like the Kiss Quotient, because there are some raunchy, sexy scenes which are well written and very naughty, but very good fun to read. So if you don't like anything that raunchy, don't pick it up. But it's good. It's about love. It's about this lady, and she's so strong, and she's lower class, but she wants to make more for herself. She's got a daughter. It's very well written. I really loved it. Then I got sent the audiobook for another readathon, which I was doing, which is The Phone Box at the Edge of the World, which is set in Japan. It is set at the time of the tsunami, and this tsunami happens, and there is this guy that's got a phone box in his garden where they say they can pass messages on to the dead. Not fancy, but it's like saying goodbye. It's like being able to say goodbye. Very emotional book. Check out my Instagram post because I've explained it more, and on Goodreads. But it's such a brilliant book. It makes you cry. It tackles grief in such a raw way. Yui loses her mother and her daughter in the tsunami, and there is a guy who's lost his wife, and they are on two separate bases and journeys. He has got a daughter, and then their relationship kind of, the way that sort of meets up, and she knows that she can't be the girl's mum, but because obviously that, but it's about grief. It's really, really well written. Thank you so much to Tandem for getting me part of this listen along. It's my first ever listen along, and I loved it. It's saved on my phone, which is brilliant. It's my first audiobook I've actually got saved on there, so I'm going to listen to it again, because I think when I've got a bit more time I can listen to it longer and really absorb it more. Now we're already on 18 minutes and I've still got some more books to show you. Another Leanne Moriarty book. You guys know I love Leanne Moriarty. This is about what Alice forgot. This is about really a lady who wakes up after an accident in a gym, and she has lost the last 10 years of her life. She doesn't remember her children. She doesn't remember. Last thing she remembers is she was pregnant with her first child. And the person she discovered that she'd become, she doesn't necessarily like her. She doesn't understand why everyone doesn't like her, why people are treating her so differently, why she's about to go through a divorce, why she's not really talking to her sister. And that's about finding those lost years and realising what's really important in life. And I think as mums, we lose sight of that. We try and be everything we can be, and we lose sight of our true selves, and we sometimes push ourselves and our children too hard, and we lose track of what's really important. And I loved Alice's character in this. Oh, I cried. It's a really emotional book, very chunky, brilliant. Recommend it if you like it like Leanne Moriarty. This is one of her best books. I did love it, but I can't say it's my favourite book of the month. I'm sorry. Then, and I've just remembered, I've got a book that's downstairs. Oh no, I have got it still. Then I read the Hunger Games books. This is on my top 100 bucket list poster. It's on another poster. It's kind of a reread, but I don't remember. I remember seeing the films, but I don't remember reading the books. So my niece has lent me this. It's the first in the series. You guys have all seen it. It's blooming brilliant. It's a lot better than the film. I can't wait to read the next one. Chloe said I was going to like it. I love it. I can't wait to read the next one in the series. Absolutely love the book more than I love the film. So, love that one. So that's going back. Then I read my first book of my only real proper buddy read other than North and South, which is The Switch by Beth O'Leary. I love the flat chair. I think Chloe described it. It's not quite as good as the flat chair, but it's still 5 stars. It's still absolutely amazing. And it's about grandparents. It took a bit longer to get into than the flat share because it's got 2 leading characters, a girl and a grandmother who basically swap lives. And it's about them discovering again. The girl's lost her sister to cancer and she's got a lot of anger. It's about learning to deal with your anger. Again, this tackles grief very nicely. And they switch lives and they find out what's important. Yes, there's some romances. Yes, there's some cosy bits. It's a very good book. I'm so glad I'm keeping this. I'm so glad I bought this full price. I loved it. Now to my top 2 books of the month, which I'm just going to double check that this is definitely my top 2 books of the month. I've got Chicklet that's one of my favourite books of the month. Can you believe it? This is Jenny Colgan's The Bookshop on the Shore. I got sent this by Charlotte as a gift and I loved it. I thought, we found out that it's actually the second in the series. There's actually a book that's prequel to this. So there are characters from the other book in this. I can't remember the name of the prequel. I didn't think I'd read it, but it turned out I have, because when I read the connections, I saw the connecting characters. I love the way Jenny Colgan's linked in the connecting characters. It's something that Page Toon does really well. So I really enjoyed it. It's about bookshops, so there's a lot of quotings about books. There's a lot about books in this, which I love. I love books that talk about books. So Zoe's a single mother struggling to cope in London. Her little boy Harry is the light of her life, but he refuses to speak, and the landlord's just raised the rent. So she reaches out to help. She reaches out to Harry's dad. Harry's dad has not told his family about Harry, and then he reaches out to his sister, which is one of the characters that connected to the first book, and they end up going to Scotland. She has 2 jobs as and that's part of an au pair and also helping out the lady who runs the bookshop that drives around the bookshop in the van sort of thing. And it's about them trying to get Harry to talk, but it's a family that they meet. There's 3 very troubled children whose mums abandoned them, and they're living with their dad, and the owner of the house, the guy that's her boss, is moody and he's distant and he's very grumpy, and Zoe's basically, she's got experience teaching and working with children, and she's like, I'm going to change things, I'm going to make things up. And it's very interesting, very, very good and very emotional book, but one I absolutely thoroughly loved. So I'm going to be another one keeping. There's a lot of keepy books this month. And then lastly, a book that I read in one day. I absolutely love it. The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. Everyone has spoken about this. Everybody. And Charlie was like, oh, you can borrow it. And I was like, I'm going to fly through it. I don't care. I didn't get to my TBR. I'm just going to fly through it. This is amazing. This is not about being ready. It's not about being fierce or fearless. It's about being free. And it's absolutely incredible. Sorry, my children are in the background. This is Michael's story. Join him as he enters the world with tiny feather eyelashes, travels from school to college where he discovers his flock. So we meet him as a child and we follow him through to university. He's a mixed race guy, and he's a mixed race gay guy who really struggles to find his place in the world. And it's lovely to watch him grow, to watch his friendships with people, to watch him come into a shell and to fight against the labels. But I also find it informative because we're really discovering his battles. We're discovering about the labels that people put on each other, and it's certain bits of it you can really relate to. No matter who you are, you can relate to. Everyone as a teenager will struggle with their identity, but some people struggle with it more. And listening to that, the information on some of this stuff is brilliant. Another book written in verse. It's brilliant. The illustrations in this are gorgeous. I love flamingos as well. I love this book. It's one I so badly recommend for all of you to read. So definitely pick this one up. And that's it. Sorry this is a bit of a long video. I will be back with my TBR towards the end of the month for September. I've got another big packed month planned already. So I look forward to seeing you all then. Again, thank you all for your support and everything. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.